नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैवं नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठकी. Hare Krishna, welcome everyone to Srimad Bhagavatam class on Wednesday morning. Today we will read and discuss from Canto 3, Chapter 22, text number 3. Share my screen. So this canto is the topic marriage of Kardama Muni and Devahuti. तत्रणयश्रजा चस्मान् दोषाश्रात् सहस्रपात् हृदयं तस्य हि ब्रह्मा शत्रम् अङ्गं प्रचक्षते तत्रणयस्य चस्मान् दोषाश्रात् सहस्रपात् हृदयं तस्य हि ब्रह्मा Shaktram Angam Prachakshate. Tatranaya, for the protection of the Brahmanas. Asrajat created Cha and Asman as Kshatriyas. Those Sahasrat from his 1,000 arms. Sagasrapad, the 1,000 legs, Supreme Being, the universal form. Hridayam, heart. Tasya, his. He, for. Brahma, Brahmanas, Shaktram, the Kshatriyas, Angam, arms, Prachakshate, or spoken of. Translation: for the protection of the Brahmanas, the 1,000-legged Supreme Being created us, the Kshatriyas, from his 1,000 arms. Hence, the Brahmanas are said to be his heart and the Kshatriyas his arms. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Kshatriyas are specifically meant to maintain the Brahmanas because if the Brahmanas are protected, then the head of the civilization is protected. Brahmanas are supposed to be the head of the social body. If the head is clear and has not gone mad, then everything is in proper position. The Lord is described as Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha. The purport of this prayer is that the Lord specifically protects the Brahmanas and the cows, and then he protects all other members of the society, Jagat Hitaya. It is his will that universal welfare work depends on the protection of cows and Brahmanas. Thus, Brahminical culture and cow protection are the basic principles for human civilization. Kshatriyas are especially meant to protect the Brahmanas, as is the supreme will of the Lord. Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha. As the heart is very important part within the body, so the Brahmanas are also the important element in the human society. The Kshatriyas are more like the whole body. Even though the whole body is bigger than the heart is more important. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Tadati Swapatantikam Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswade Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Desha Dharini Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate grim yat kripa tamaham vande Shri Gurum Dhinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Jnananandamayam Devam Nirmala Spatika Kritam Adharam Sarva Vidyanam Hayagrivam Pasmaye. So we just moved into the new canto, the marriage of Kardama Muni and Devahuti. Yesterday, Pandan Gopal Prabhu gave a fantastic context. So here the conversation is happening. So the purport is talking about for the protection of the Brahmanas, the thousand-legged supreme being created us. Thousand-legged supreme being is Sahasra Sri Risha Purushaha. In the Purusha Suttam, it starts with Sahasra Sri Risha Purushaha, Sahasra Ashat Sahasrabhat, Sabobin Vishwado Vritva, Akshadetach Prasangulam. So the thousand-legged, the universal form, the Virat Rupa, that Purusha, the Parama Purusha, he has created for the protect. He has created Kshatriyas. The Kshatriyas are created for a purpose. Everything has a purpose, and it's clearly stating the purpose of the Kshatriyas is to protect the Brahmanas, who are the higher intelligent class in the society. And the Brahmanas are created, Brahmanas are said to be his heart, the Lord's heart, and the Kshatriyas are his arms. So, the purpose of creating Brahmanas, Krishna has already said in Bhagavad Gita 4:13, Chaturvarnam Maya Sishtam Guna Karma Vibhavashaha. He has created the four persons in the four forms in the society, like Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudras, based on the mode of goodness. Okay, Guna Karma. So, what the qualities and the action. So, Brahmanas are in the mode of goodness. Kshatriyas are in the mode of passion, and Vaishyas are in the mode of a mix of goodness and passion, and Shudras are in the mode of ignorance. So, the primary responsibility of Brahmana, the term the Brahmanas came because they know about the Brahman realization. They are self-realized. Their 100% business and activity is to worship the Lord according to the Vedic principles and to elevate the society through preaching activities. So they do not engage in any other services. They are qualified they are trained in the Vedic and Shastric activities, and they are engaged in performing, and they are good in preaching. They are good in advising. And Kshatriyas comes from the arms of the Lord, and they are engaged in the protection. They are engaged in the protection of the Brahmanas. They are engaged in the protection of the prajas, the people, and not only people, all animals and all those things who are taken, who are under the boundary of their civilization. So the Kshatriyas are responsible to protect and maintain. So when they say it's a protect, it is now one is a physical protection and also to protect from the spiritual thing. So the entire the Chatur Varnam is the division of the society is based on one primary purpose, is to engage, everyone engage and work together cooperatively to to attain God conscious society. The term God conscious society is very important because that's the reason that Kshatriyas built a lot of temples. They conducted yajnas for the welfare of the society. So even though they are in acting in different modes of nature, or they are associated to goodness, passion, and ignorance, or a mixture, but ultimate goal is I do my part of my activity. Like Brahmanas, they are into preaching and teaching and into cultivating the spiritual knowledge. And the Kshatriyas, that they protect and they do this, they maintain the prajas. And the Vaishyas, they are into economic development, agriculture, cow protection. They are doing all these things. And the Shudras who are in, they are there should be some labor to perform all the activities, hard work, so they are engaged in that. So when all these things are cooperatively happening, there is a flourishment in spiritual activities. Whether it's not the ego or the false ego or the dominating tendency is restricted when everyone is cooperating and acting in this. So here the Lord says that Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha. I am the protector of the Brahmanas and the cow, which are very, very important for the God conscious spiritual society. So the Lord is protecting, and not only the Brahmanas and the cow, he said Jagat Hitaya, Krishnaya, Govindaya, Namo Namaha. So all other members in the society, the universal welfare is dependent upon the protection of cows and Brahmanas. Why cows? Because the cow is a very sacred animal. It is considered to be one of the mother, and the cow gives, the products of the cow are used in yajna and Vedic sacrifices. Even the cow dung and cow urine has a lot of purificatory aspects. So it's also help in treating ailments, all those things. So the cow is very, very important. Like the Aryans or the civilized men, they reside in the near the banks, and they started the cow. They have a cow, and they depend on the cow. They whatever the food that was available, they consumed that, and then for fruits and vegetables, and then they depend on cow for the milk, and they were doing all good activities. So the cow in in the ancient age and in today's age, it's a very, very sacred and auspicious thing. Even when you have a new home-warming ceremony in India, that they invite the cow first to enter the house. It brings a lot of auspiciousness. And it is also says it is the cow protection and Brahminical culture are basically for the welfare of the human civilizations. So, why Kshatriyas depend on Brahmanas, or why Kshatriyas need to protect Brahmanas? Because the Brahmanas are coming from the face of the Parama Purusha, the thousand arms and the thousand legged supreme universal form. Sahasra Sri Risha Purusha is coming from there, from the face, the mouth. The mouth is very important. If you see the mouth of the supreme personality of Godhead, whatever that comes from the mouth is very divine. It's 100%, 100%, 200% Satchit Ananda. There is no material elements. Nothing, whatever that comes from the mouth is very true, is very knowledgeable. It is according to the principles of Vedic welfare for the society, welfare for everyone. So they are coming, Brahmanas are coming from that source, and that source is very auspicious. And the Kshatriyas, I learned a very nice lesson from Ramayana from a mentor, which inspires me and I contemplate a lot. Which is about good strategy can be implemented only from good advisors. We can have a good strategy and we can implement the good strategy only because of the good advice. Like Ravana, he received advice, but those are not good advices. Like they were very feared. Okay, just to please Ravana, let's go and say something. So that was not all the advices that we receive is not welfare to the person, and the advice should be free from the factors of a fear or influence or to pacify this person. So even if the advice is not palatable, if it has to be given, it has to be given. The Brahmanas are like that. So that is the reason the Kshatriyas protect the Brahmanas to get the right advice, the good advice, so that they can implement the good strategies and flourish the kingdoms. So they can protect thing. And the Kshatriyas, as the heart is very important part of the body, that is where the Brahmanas is being mapped. So we have the whole body, and the whole body can be like a Kshatriyas, but the heart is a very, very important. The function of the whole body is a depending upon the pumping of the blood to the whole body is from the organ heart. So the heart is playing the important role in orchestrating all the activities of the body. So that is why the Brahmanas plays the role of the heart in doing in the role of the functioning of the entire body. So when you see the divisions, which are we talked about Chaturvarnam Maya system. So the four divisions, Srila Prabhupada very carefully said the word cooperation. The cooperation is very insignificant in the division of a society. In today's world, like if you see, um, the major function of a Brahmana is to conduct Vedic sacrifices, preaching, those are the activities. And whatever Dakshina, the person is supposed to engage the Brahmana in the service and provide Dakshina. Whatever Dakshina that is being offered to the Brahmana should be utilized again in the service of a preaching. So but that is not happening because we are in the Kali Yuga. There are a uh, lot of thing. Yesterday we discussed about the two kinds of occupation. One occupation that leads to sense gratification, other occupation that takes to spiritual activities. Though the Brahmanas are in today's world, the Brahmanas are in the mix of both, or 80-20, they are more into sense gratification and stuff because they take the money. The way in which they take the money is give me cash so that it is not income tax, subject to income tax. If you go and see how things are operating in India, it's very disheartening because it's very commercialized, but that's not the right way of a Brahminical thing. And everyone in today's politics also plays a significant role. Like in order to be inclusive, they make everyone to be the priest or the Brahmanas. They can go and do all those things. No, here it is not talking about by birth. It is talking by the qualities, by the mode of a goodness, the learning and understanding and executing the Vedic process and the activities. So they don't understand that. They said like, "Oh, why should I need to have a Brahmana? Why should they need to be learned? Why should they need to go to Padashala and get trained from the age of a 5? Why should they need to wear a thread and all those things?" So they say, no, anyone can do, and from anything they can do, and they are getting into that sort of a chaotic situation that leads to disruption in the society. That's not correct. The Srila Prabhupada says the cooperation. So whenever you go and to any bridge, if you see any bridge, whether it is Brooklyn Bridge, Manhattan Bridge, or even next time when you go to any bridge, you see the analogy of a bridge. The bridge has lot of strings. One is the strings could be suspending from the top, or it could be from the bottom in forms of concrete pillars. All these pillars or the strings those are all like Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. in any one of the four things, they are all with one purpose to sustain the bridge, and they are acting cooperatively. So that analogy inspires me in about the cooperation in the society. It's not that I am the big, I'm no. It is like I have the rules and responsibility. I do my part, you do your part, so that collectively we can hold the bridge. And the bridge is the Krishna consciousness in the society. The bridge is to bring the civilization, the Vedic civilization, so that everyone can be engaged in the God conscious society, which is the medicine for anything and everything, which will take away the uh, I and my ego. Like whatever I see, I am the Lord of everything. That tendency will be reduced, it will be minimized, and one point it will be gone if everyone is in God conscious society. Everyone thinks, I get $1. Okay, thank you, Krishna, for giving me that $1. How can I engage in that service? How can I utilize that $1 that is being received? So it's recycling of the resources in spiritual consciousness. With that, I end. Thank you for the opportunity. Um, I also have a hard stop at 8, and if there is anything that I have missed or said incorrectly, please correct and open for discussion. If I have said something that is nice, it goes to the spiritual master and our acharyas in the discipline session. Thank you very much. If there are no discussion, that's fine too. In that case, please chant one more extra round. Thank you.
Good. Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhu, for the opportunity. Hare Krishna.